Hello, my name is Primanshu Parekh and I work as a product manager here at Edredo. In this video, we will do a complete walkthrough of Edredo and learn how the platform actually works. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's visit www.edredo.com. This will take us to the home page of Edredo. Now, when the page first opens up, you will see a small cookie policy pop up right at the bottom. You can either accept it right away or you can click customize and choose whether you want to opt in for the analytics cookies or not. Once you have made that decision, you can go ahead and accept. Now on the home page, you will see all the Edredo offerings and you'll see some client testimonials. You will also find the QR codes to download the Edredo app from either App Store or the Android Play Store. Now to dive in further, we'll first need to create an account. So let's click Login. All the people who have already created their accounts with Edredo can log in from right here, or they can use their Google accounts. If you don't have an account so far, you'll need to click Register, and you will see that you can either create an account using your full name, email and phone number, and password, or you can also register using your Google account. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Now I'll type an email that I've already created and then click next. Then I'll type in the password. And after Edredo has verified, it will take me to the onboarding page. Now this is a basic onboarding where you will provide some information about your objectives and some other things that will use to configure the platform according to your needs. So let's see, what is your objective? So let's choose Manage Organization. Let's click Continue. You don't need to worry about what you select right here at this step because you can always update this later on as well. So let's click Continue. Now it will ask you to set up your educational brand. This information is specifically used to tailor the organizations that you will create inside Edredo. So let's type in a name. Let's type in Teachers Union, or you can say Corporate Trainers India. Then let's choose a subdomain for our organization. I will tell you what organizations are a little down the line, but for now let's just continue. So we'll pick a URL and it is available. You will see a little green check here if your subdomain is available, and you will see a little red cross sign here if your subdomain is not available. So right now it's available and we can click Continue to move forward. Now we will be asked a brief introduction for our organization. So what is our organization about? Now you can see a little description here, what this description will be used for. So AI will use this to generate content for our organization. So what's going on so far is that Edredo is creating an organization for us because in the first step, we choose Manage Organization as our objective. So we will need to provide some description so that AI can create some content for our organization that we can obviously later on customize. So let's type in the Corporate Trainers. So that's something from the top of my head that I can use as a description. You can choose to be more descriptive, but if you plan to later on customize it anyway, then you can just type in whatever you want. Then click continue. And now the AI will start generating content and Edredo will start building up your organization using all the details that you have provided so far. It will take a couple of seconds, or depending on your internet connection, it can take a couple of minutes. But once this progress bar is complete, your organization will be ready. So as you can see that your organization is ready, and I can also get a preview of what the organization looks like at this moment. So we see that there is like a banner here, some classrooms, some dummy data that is created for us that we can use as our track record, a team section, and some other sections that you can also see. So if we want to claim this organization now, that is we want to start using and customizing this organization, we just need to click claim organization for free. Once we do that, it will set up the organization and actually create the organization in the backend in our system as well. And then it will redirect you to your subdomain URL or the URL that you mentioned earlier on when you were filling out the details. Now for this domain as well, it will ask you to accept some cookies. So let's do that. And that's it. Now you have access to an Edredo organization. Once again, I will tell you what Edredo organizations are, but for now you can see that you have pretty much configured a basic organization using Edredo, and you can start customizing the settings. Now let's take a step back and go visit Edredo homepage. So as you can see at the top left corner here, next to the logo, or what would be the logo of your organization here, next to that you see a little drop down here, and when you click on that you see that okay, this is a switcher, and you can use this switcher to switch around or like move around your organizations. So let's click global community. When you click on that, you are redirected to Edredo's global community. So once you have been successfully redirected, you will see that the URL at the top here will change. The subdomain URL for the organization that we created will go away, and you will be redirected to edredo.com. That is Edredo's global community. Now, whoever signs up on the platform or whoever creates an account on Edredo is already made a member of Edredo's global community, no matter what objective they choose at the beginning. So whether you choose to learn, to teach, or like we have chosen, managing an organization, you are still made a member of Edredo's global community. And this is where you can play around with the settings or create new organizations. So whenever you sign in on Edredo, this is what you will see. This is your dashboard. Now at the left side here, you see that there's a profile section. You see your full name and username, and once you have uploaded a profile picture, this is where your profile picture will show as well. You see a followers, following, and a points count, and you also see how much of your profile you have completed. Below that you have a classroom listing. So here you will see all the classrooms that you have created. You will see a list of those here. And below that we have an organizations listing. So this is the organization that we created during the onboarding steps, and below that we have a my goals section. And on the right side here we have a list of people to follow. These are the users that have already created content for Edredo's global community or have live organizations hosted on Edredo. So if we want to follow their work, we can choose to follow them, or if we don't want to do that, we can also choose to ignore this list. Below this list, we have links for technical support. So if you need any kind of help or support from Edredo, this is where you can get it. So when you click on this link, this will take you to a help center page. And here you can get access to all kinds of help. You can read through the FAQs, that is a list of all the frequently asked questions on Edredo. You can start chatting with our agents if you want to get quick help or support on some issue. If you have a feature request or if you want to reach out to us regarding something big, you can use the contact form, or you can also mail us your problems at support@edredo.com. So that's it for the support section. Now let's go back. Below this technical support section, you also have links to the iOS and Android apps. So if you want to get a mobile experience of Edredo, you can choose to download those apps as well. If you want to start creating content for Edredo global community or your organization members, this is where you can do that. You will see that a lot of options are available for you, like create post, ask question, create poll, write article, and whatever you want to create, you can do that from right here. Whenever you create a post, that post will show up right here in the feed. Right now it shows no content yet because you have not posted anything, and neither have you followed any of the people from the list. So the feed is not ready yet, but once we do that, this will generate a feed similar to what we see in Facebook and LinkedIn. So to demonstrate that, let me take you to an active profile, more specifically mine, to show how it works. So let's do that. Now this is my personal account on Edredo. As you can see that I already have some followers and I am also following some people, and based on my activity on the platform, I have also received some points. My profile is also relatively more complete and I already have a prepared feed. So let's start creating content and make our first post. So let's click here and type in the contents of our post. This is my first post on Edredo. Please note that right now we have selected the create post option. If we want to ask a question or post an example, we will need to select the appropriate option on the top of this pop-up. For now, let's just create post. Now, if we want, we can also add the title to our post or disable comments. We can also modify the contents of our post and format it using the tools right here. So for example, if I want to underline the contents of the post, I will just need to select it and click on underline, and that's done. Now, when you're satisfied with what you have written and what you have formatted, you will just need to click on this post button and it will create a post. So you see, you get a message created post successfully and your post is added here in the feed. Let's try creating one more post. This time, let's create a poll. So we will click on this create poll button and this will open a pop-up where we can start adding in the details for our poll. So let's type in a question. And then some choices. As you can see, by default we get two choices. If we want to add a third option, we will need to click on this add choices button. So let's do that and type in our third choice. We can also modify the poll settings. So we can keep the poll active, which will allow others to vote on it, or we can keep it closed. This will be useful when you have kept the poll open for, let's say, unlimited duration or for 6 days. And if you want to close it after 2 days, you can just come back here to edit the settings and close the poll. For now, let's keep it active and set the poll duration to 4 days and click on save and continue. And that's it. This will create our poll successfully and it will also show up on our feed. So now that you have created post on Edredo, let's find out how you can build your profile on Edredo. For that, you will need to visit the profile page, which you can do by clicking on the username or the profile picture here, or clicking on the profile picture here and choosing the My Profile option. When we click on that, we are redirected to the profile page where we can add all the details about us. So here you can add a short bio about yourself, then your education, then your experience, then if you have done some projects, you can add them here. If you have published something, then you can add those here, and you can also mention your achievements. On the left hand side, you will see that there are some social links here, and you can also bookmark posts and they will show up here. And on the right hand side, you will see your impact, which basically details about which organizations you are a part of how many classrooms you have created or how many classrooms you are an admin of, how many classrooms you are a member of, and how many students are there in the classrooms that you have created. Now let's see what is there in the activities section. So whenever you do something on Edredo, that's recorded here in activities. So far we have created a poll, we have made some posts and created articles. We have also created some classrooms. So that's what you will find in the activity section. Next, in the content section, you will find all the content that you have posted so far. You can also filter out the content using this filter here. So you can either choose all content, which will list all of the content that you have published, or you can select them categorically like posts, examples, articles, etc. Next, in the replies section, you will find if you have replied to any comments or posts. So far, I have not replied to anything, so nothing is showing up here. So this will be where you will build your profile. Now, if you want to change something about your Edredo profile or add something to it, you will just need to click on this edit pan icon here, and it will open a pop-up where you can manage your Edredo profile. First is personal information. So here you can view or modify your profile photo, name, country, job title, and you can also add social links. So if we see, so far I have added 2 social links. If I want to add one more, I will just need to click on this add field button and provide the URL and then click save, and it will add this link to my social links. Next is account security. Here we can modify our username, email address, we can provide our phone number or modify the existing one. We can also change our password. We can also modify our privacy settings. For example, if we want to impose a classroom restriction which disallows others to add us in their classrooms, we can do that. We can also choose who can message us and who can add us to messaging groups. Next is notifications. So if you want to manage push app notifications or email notifications, you can do that from right here. So either I can choose whether I want to receive any notifications if someone comments on my posts. I can turn that off. If someone mentions me, do I want to receive a notification, then I can turn that off. And we can also toggle it again back to on. Next is blocked. So if you have blocked any users on Edredo platform, you will see a list of them here. And the final section is deactivate or deletion. If you want to deactivate your account for some time so that you can still retain all the content with your account, then you can just choose this option. Or if you want to delete your existing account and start fresh, then you can delete your account from here. So that's it for the profile management and account settings section. Now that we are done with all the getting started stuff, let's dive deeper and learn how you can truly take advantage of Edredo. So let's go back to the home page. And here you will see a list of classrooms and organizations. These are all the organizations and classrooms that I am a part of or the ones that I have created. Now, if I want to create a new organization, I can do that just by clicking here or clicking on this drop down next to the Edredo logo and clicking on create new organization. When we do that, we are redirected to a page where it asks us to set up our educational brand. Remember, these are the exact steps that we followed during the onboarding. So we will add an organization name, and a subdomain. So we will pick a URL and click continue. Now once again we have to add a brief introduction for our organization that the AI will use to generate content for our organization. So let's type in Now once we've added the description, let's click continue, and this will start building the organization. Remember that we have already seen these steps in the earlier parts of this video. It will take a couple of minutes and build the profile for your organization and generate a preview. So once again, we can see the preview and just click on this claim organization for free button to claim our organization. Once we do that, it will create the organization in the backend and redirect us to our organization web page. It will ask us to accept the cookie policy settings. So click on the accept all button. And this is our organization homepage. Let me tell you in brief what organizations are on Edredo. Edredo supports multi-tenancy, which means that once you sign into the platform, you can create as many different workspaces as you want. And these workspaces are called organizations. Now, to dive deeper into organizations, let's access organization settings on the top right corner and see what all you can change and modify as an admin. The first thing is the About section. In the About section, you can already modify your logo and favicon. You can also modify your organization details like organization name, description, and all the other details like website link, phone number, etc. You can also add social links that will show up in the footer using the social links section. Next is the branding and theme. Now inside the branding and theme section, we have settings for both branding and theme. So let's deal with them one by one. Let's select branding. Inside branding, you can see that primary and secondary colors are available. Primary color is used in buttons and few heading types, and secondary color is used in backgrounds. Even right now, if you see the highlighted text on your page is in orange color, which is the primary color, and some of the important banners, like this photo banner, is in the blue magenta color. This is the current color scheme or branding of your organization page. Now, if you want to change that, you will just need to click here on this color picker and pick a different color. In this instance, let's pick black. As soon as we do that, the heading and button have changed to black color. Similarly, we can also change the secondary color. So let's do that and select it to white. So you will see that the backgrounds have turned to white. Now below the color section, there is Edredo branding section. In this, there are two banners, floating banner and footer banner. You will see the floating banner here at the bottom right corner and the footer banner below your footer. Both these banners can be disabled to further customize your organization page. But this is a part of our paid programs. So if you hover over this information icon, you will see that you can unlock these exclusive features with our paid plans. So let's move on to the next setting, that is labels and tags. As you can see that right now we have no labels and tags, but we can use these to help organize our questions within the question library, which will make it easier for us to manage and categorize questions across our organization. So these labels and tags will come in handy when we create our quizzes, and inside the question library, we can use these labels and tags to organize our questions. So how can you create a label? To do that, we need to click on this Create Label button. When we do that, it will open a pop-up asking for a new label and its title. So let's type in HR Training. Then click Create Label. It will show label created. Now it will give you the option to edit it, delete it, and add details to it. Right now you can see that the label has been created, but there are no attached tags. So click on this arrow and it will open a drawer where you can start adding the tags. So click on Add Tag button and type in the name of your tag. So we can keep it Soft Skills Training. and click on this check mark, and the soft skills tag has been created. Next, we can create one more tag called technical skills training and click the check mark again. And now we have two tags attached to our label HR training. So the next setting we have is privacy and safety. So let's go to that. Here you can see that you can control how members register on your organization. We have two modes available, that is open and closed. In the open mode, any visitor can register with your organization, and in the closed mode, no visitor can register or join your organization. Only you as an admin will be able to add the members to your organization. Now, inside this open setting, you see that there is a select box where we have currently selected all, and next to it we have an information icon, which means that there is an exclusive feature here. This feature is also available with our paid plans, but let me give you a glimpse. So with this feature, you will be able to select certain company or work emails that you can give permission to register with your organization. Now what this will do is that whenever someone tries to register with your organization, it will check for the company or work email extension, just like this. So for example, if we have the Perfecist website or Perfecist company email, then I can just write @perfecist.com, and if anyone who wants to join in has that work email, they will be able to join the organization. Otherwise, they won't be able to do so. Next, we have this Edredo community toggle. As you can see from here, this toggle allows organization members to switch from one organization to another, and they can also visit Edredo global community, as you can see from here. But if you turn it off, this will become a closed organization with no connection to Edredo's global community. You cannot disable it with the free plan, but with the paid plan you will be able to do so. So let me give you a glimpse. So this is one of my paid organizations. This is the same one where I showed you how to add company and work emails to restrict the access of visitors registration on your organization. Now if you see here, the Edredo community toggle is off and the drop down next to the logo is not appearing. Now if I turn it on and click save, the drop down will appear again and I can access Edredo's global community as well as my other organizations. Now if I turn it off again, the drop down disappears. So you can get access to this feature with one of our paid plans. Next is domain configuration. So at the beginning of our organization settings, we set up a subdomain for our organization. That was newcorporatetrainers.edredo.com. Now, if we want to modify it, we can just click here on the modify button, which will open a pop-up where we can modify the subdomain. And we can make it something like newcorporatetrainersprime.edredo.com. And this subdomain is available. Please note that changing the subdomain will hamper the SEO rankings of the organization. So let's keep it the same for now. We can also add a custom domain to our organization. So for example, if you don't want an extension like newcorporatetrainers.edredo.com and you just want it to be newcorporatetrainers.com, then you can also set that up here. Next is the membership settings. Inside the membership settings, we have two tabs available. The first one being all members and the second one being add new. In the all members tab, you will have a list of all the organization members, their name, their access type and roles, and the number of classrooms that they are a member of. In the add new tab, you have the ability to search users on Edredo's global community and add them to your organization using their username. So let me type in a username. When I type in the username, it starts suggesting users to me. So I'll select a desired user and click add. And this will add the member to my organization. Now, if I go back to all members, I have a new member in my organization. Let me add a couple more. So now you will see that I have 4 members in my organization. My user is assigned the role of owner and admin. Similarly, I can alter the roles for all these other users by using these 3 dot icon here. When I click on it, a menu opens and there I have the option to edit the role. When I click on it, a pop-up opens where I can select a different role and assign it to that particular user. So for example, if I want this user to be a moderator, I will select that role and update it. All the users will have different levels of access based on their role. So you can see here that the role of the second user is now changed to moderator. Let's see what more can we do. We see that this user is not a member of any of the classrooms. So let's open the options and click on Manage Membership. So right now, as we can see, that this user is not a member of any of the classrooms. So we can add classroom membership clicking on this particular tab. We see that we have one classroom available to us and we have an add button next to it. So when we click on that, it will take a couple of seconds and add the user to that particular classroom. Now if I go back to the membership classrooms, I can see that this user is added to this classroom with the access type of member. I can also remove the membership of this user for this classroom from right here. Now, if I want to change the role for this user for this classroom, I can click on this drop down and select any of the other roles just like before. My level of access will change depending on the role. So let's select teacher. The membership is updated successfully and I can close the pop-up. Now, if I want to remove this user from the classroom, I can open the drop-down options again, click on Manage Membership and click on Remove Membership. It will ask for a confirmation and when we click Yes, the user is removed from the classroom. Please note that even after doing this, the user is still a member of your organization. To remove this user from your organization, you will need to open the drop-down options again and click Remove User. It will ask for a confirmation and when you click Yes, the user will be removed from your organization. So that's it for the membership section. Now let's move on to pages. Inside the organization page settings, you see that there are already some pages created here. These are the same pages that are showing up at the top of your header. So you have dashboard, classrooms, packages, and articles. Next to these pages, you also have some actions. In front of packages and articles, you have the disable option as well. So dashboard and classrooms are basically default pages and you cannot disable them. But you can disable packages and articles. So if you don't want packages and articles pages here, you can just click disable. And these links will be removed from your header. If you want them in your header again, click enable. And they will be added back to the header. Now, if you want to change the order and you want articles to show up first, you just need to click reorder and move the articles to the top. Just drag and drop it here and click save order. And as you can see, articles page is moved to the front. Now, if you want to create a new page and add it to the header, you can create it using this add new button here. And if you want to create a new page and add it to the footer, you can just click on this button and add it to the footer. So let's create a page. Let's click add new. And from this interface, I can start adding the page title right here. So it could be anything. It could be about us. And then we will add some description, and we can also add images and videos as it suits our needs. So let's just type something. We will also need to add a link title. So let's just type about us and click publish page. This will create the page for us, and this is how it will show. So you can see your subdomain /pages/about us. At the header, you will also see a more drop down where you will see a bunch of links bundled together. This is to keep the interface nice and clean here. So let's go back to our organization, back to our settings and to pages. Now, if we want to delete this page, we can just click on delete. Or if you want to disable some other page so that the about us page shows up here, let's do that. And as you can see, the about us page is now showing up in the header. You can do the same thing in the footer as well. So now that we are done with organization pages, let's move on to notification banner. The notification banner is used to make organization-wide announcements. As you can see, currently the notification banner is turned off. When we toggle it and turn it on, we see a preview. The notification banner is shown at the top of the header. We can also change the priority for the banner to high, medium or low. And based on this priority, the background color for the banner will change. So for this example, let's set it to high. Then we can set a banner title. And then next we can add a banner description. After we are done adding all these details, we just need to click save. When we do that, the organization is updated and the banner starts showing up at the top of the header. Now, this banner will show up once by default, and once the person or the user has closed this banner, this won't show up on the same browser again. So that's it for the notification banner. Next is subscription. So as you can see, you can pick a plan that works for you from right here. So by default, you will be on the community plan, which is free forever. From here, you can upgrade to the Rise or Shine plan. And if you are interested in an enterprise plan, you can also contact us. You can get a glimpse of all the features that are provided to you and also comparative analysis of what is different in each plan. So that's all you find in this section. Next is billing. So once you have upgraded to a premium plan, this is where your transaction history will show up. You will see the date on which you have purchased the plan here, as well as the name of the subscription plan and some actions right here. You will be able to download or view the receipt right here. That's it for billing. Now we have covered all the settings that you have access to as an organization admin. Now let's move forward. Now once we are done with all the organization administration things, we can go back to our organization home and start adding more things to our organization. Now inside an organization, all the learning and training happens inside a classroom. If we want to conduct a training on different kinds of subject, we need to have different classrooms. So let's see how can we create a classroom. To do that, we will need to navigate to Classrooms page. And here we can see the one classroom that was created initially when we were onboarded to Edredo platform. Apart from that, if we want to create a new classroom in our organization, we need to click on this Add New button. Here we see that there is a drop down that has two options. We can either create a new classroom or add an existing classroom if we have created one on Edredo's global community. So far we have not done that. So let's click Create New Classroom. It will open a pop-up where you can add a classroom name, set the visibility and click Save and Continue, and it will set up the classroom for you. So let's do that. Let's type in the classroom name. Set the visibility to public so that the classroom can be discovered by anyone. If we set it to public, this will be discoverable to all. We can also set it to private so that it's only visible to members. So let's click Save and Continue. And this will create our classroom. As you can see, there are a lot of things going on inside the classroom and there are a lot of things to understand. We will go over them in a bit, but let's take this moment to understand a little bit more about our organization. So let's go back to our home page. Now you can see that at the top we have a dashboard link. Let's click on that. On the dashboard, you have access to almost everything about your organization. You have access to classrooms, packages, announcements, and settings. So let's go over them one by one. At the top left corner, you have the link for the landing page. Right now, we have the landing page theme enabled on this organization. That's why we have this link here. To go back to our landing page, if we had the login page theme enabled, then this link won't be here. Next is My Classrooms. This will list all the classrooms that either you have created on the organization or you have imported from the Edredo's global community. Next, we have packages. Packages are useful if you are selling courses. Packages allow you to bundle together a bunch of classrooms and sell them as one. So let's see how you can create a package. You can go to the settings once and enable the packages page that we disabled earlier. So we will click enable and we will disable this about us page. So now we have the packages page available to us at the top here. Let's go back to the organization home and dashboard. Now to create a package, we will need to go over the packages page and click on Add New. This will open a pop-up where we will need to fill in some details to create our package. So let's create HR training package. We can also choose to add some description. In the next step, we can include the classrooms that we want in our package. So let's click on this drop down and it will already have a list of classrooms that are a part of the organization. So let's select both these organizations and set a package pricing. So first we can choose the currency from dollar or Indian rupees. Then we can set the original price, let's say $100, and then we can have a discounted price, $75. So that's a 25% discount. Next, we can select a package card background. So we can select whichever one we like. So let's select this one and create package. So your package will be created. In the next steps, you can customize the package further. You can go to the settings and add a picture to your package, change the pricing and modify it a little bit. Let's go back. On the dashboard, next thing we have is announcements. So if you want to make announcements to all your members, here's where you can do it. All you need to do is click on create and start typing. If you notice, this interface is similar to the create post interface. You can add a title, disable comments, and format your text. So let's type in something. Let's click post. And the announcement is created. Let's see how you can create more content, in this case an article on your organization. So at the top you have the articles link. When we go on that, we have the option to create an article. Right now there are no articles present on our organization. Creating articles will help the SEO of our organization. So let's try creating one. We click on create article and this opens a new page for us where we can create a new article. Here we can type in the heading, new article on HR training. And we can add in some details. We can add a banner image and we can add a complete article description. We can add videos to it. We can add photos in the middle to make the article more interesting. And once we are done, we can click publish. Before we click publish, we can also set the article to be public or private. So let's click publish. We can add tags to increase the reach of our article as well. So let's type in HR training and click publish. This will create the article and redirect us to the article page. So you see, the article is created. Now that we have understood almost everything about our organizations, let's go back to the classrooms and understand all the things that were going on inside our classrooms, including the settings and content creation things. So let's go to the classrooms and open the classroom that we created. So as you can see, you have multiple things going on here. You have the top section, the left section, the right section, and the middle section. Let's start from the middle section. As soon as you have created a classroom, you will have some prompts here to get started. You can invite 5 members to your learning room, upload a classroom picture, and create your first post. You can also choose to skip these steps. Now, let's go to the classroom settings. You will find the classroom settings in the banner next to the members count. So click on that and it will open a drop down. Here you have the option to go to the classroom settings, delete the classroom, or start a walkthrough of the classroom. Let's go to the classroom settings. Similar to the organization settings, we have a bunch of stuff that we can customize as an admin inside our classroom. The first one is the About section of the classroom. We can change the banner and the cover image here as well as the classroom image. So if we want to add something like a banner here, we just need to click on this and select an image that we want to choose. Similarly, we can customize the classroom image as well. Next, we can modify the classroom name. So we can choose to keep it just HR training and remove the classroom. Then inside description, we can add more details about what the classroom is about. So let's type in something. This classroom provides training on HR activities and how you can excel at the organization. So you can give a short note to describe your classroom. This will help your classroom to be more discoverable. Next is classroom visibility. So we set it earlier to public, which makes the classroom discoverable to everyone. We can also choose to keep it private. In this way, the classroom will be discovered only by the organization members. Click Save Changes, and this will edit your classroom and save the changes that you have made. Next are advanced classroom settings. So let's go to that. Inside advanced settings, the first one is classroom joining method. There are 4 main ways to join an Edredo classroom on the organization. The first one is a secret code. In this way, you are required to create a secret code that you will share with your trainees or your students that will allow them to join your classroom. Next one is membership request. Anyone who wants to join your classroom will have to submit a request. You will get a list of those requests and then you can choose to approve whichever request you want. The third one is open access. Anyone who wants to join your classroom will be able to join if you keep it open access. In this way, most of the people will be able to find and reach your classroom. The final joining method is payment subscription. So in case you are planning to have a paid classroom, this is the joining method that you will want to choose. Here you can add a subscription amount and enable any of the payment methods that you want from the ones available here. We have Stripe, Razorpay, UPI and CC Avenue as available options. So for the sake of our demonstration, let's keep our classroom open access. Next, we have some additional settings. We can define the subject or the topic that our classroom is about. So let's mention HR training. Next, we can also define the target audience for our classroom. So when we click on this, a list will open and we can pick any of these options, or we can even keep it empty. Next is the enrollment number generation. So it will show you that an automatic generation is already ongoing for the enrollment numbers inside the classroom. Next, you can choose to enable email notifications through this email notifications toggle. If you choose to turn it off, all these notifications will be turned off automatically. But if you turn it on, you have the option to either check it all, which means all the email notifications are present inside the classroom, or you can choose 1 or 2 or 3 as per your requirement. For now, let's check all. You can also receive donations inside your classroom if that's something that you want. So to do that, you will just need to edit configurations and add a minimum allowed donation and enable the donation methods just like how you did in payment subscription method earlier on. You also have the ability to link your YouTube account to your classroom. So whenever a YouTube video is posted on your YouTube account, that will also be posted to your classroom. So let's click Save Changes, and all the changes that we made earlier on will be saved. Next, we have configure classroom settings. Inside here, you can configure almost everything about how your classroom looks. So the first thing is, what do you want your classroom to be? Do you want it to be an academic class? Do you want it to be a training cohort? Or do you want it to be a project workroom? Depending on your requirement, the layout of the classroom will change. So let's see. Click on Preview and Customize. Here you see that academic class has all the options available to it, from live classes to gradebook. Now let's go back. If we select training cohort and preview it, you see that challenges and gradebook are not a part of the training cohort. We can make it a part of the training cohort, but by default, it's not. Let's go back and choose to preview project workroom. Here you will see that live classes and challenges and gradebook, all three of these are not a part of project workroom by default. So we can select either three of these layouts depending on our needs. In this case, let's select training cohort. Customize our training cohort. Click on Preview and Customize and enable challenges and gradebook as well. And then click Save Preview. Now that's it. If we go back to Preview and Customize now, we will see that all the options here are enabled. Let's go back. Next section is Default Feed Sorting. This decides basically how feed will be sorted inside your classroom. By default, top feed sorting is enabled. This means that whichever post or content piece has most amount of activity will be shown on the top. We can also set it to recent, which will show the posts based on the creation time of the posts. Next, we have content posting and commenting permissions. As an admin, you can set the permissions for all the things one can do inside your classroom, whether it be creating posts, managing examples, creating polls, adding interactive videos, commenting on posts, etc. Right now, you can see that some of the options are not available to members, and then all the other options are available to moderators and facilitators. We can choose to remove those for these other roles as well. So let's remove these. And click Save Changes. The classroom settings are edited and these settings are saved. Now let's move on to notifications. Now inside notifications, you can select your email notification preference for content and comments. Please note that this email notification preference is not the same as email notifications in advanced settings. This was you enabling email notifications inside your classroom for all content types. If you had disabled it here, those settings won't be available. But as you have enabled it, these are notification preferences for your user account. So if you want to receive notifications for all the posts, polls, videos, and quizzes, you will select those options. And if you want to receive notifications when someone comments on content created by you, you will select this option. Otherwise, if you want to receive notification when anybody comments on any content in the classroom, you will select this option. Once you're done, click Save Changes, and your changes will be saved. Next is Manage Memberships. So similar to organizations, you can also manage memberships inside your classroom. As you can see, currently I am the only member inside my classroom and I am assigned the role of administrator. Next, we can go to the followers. And right now we don't have any followers to our classroom. If we keep our classroom public, then any user can choose to become a follower of our classroom. And then those users will show up in a list here. Next is team structures. If you want your members to participate in a team and then attempt an assignment together, then you can choose to make a team structure. Right now we don't have any members inside our classroom, so let's add some members first and then get back to making team structures. So let's go to the next option, Add New. And just like how we did in organization membership, we can add users by their username or their emails. So let's select a user through their username. click add, and they will be added to the classroom. Let's add a few more. So now we have added a couple of users. Let's check our membership list. So you see that all the users are added here. I can also choose to follow these users from these follow buttons right here. And I can do the same thing that I did in the organization membership, that we can click on these three dots and remove the participant from the classroom or change their role. So just like how I am an administrator of this classroom, I can make someone else a moderator. And you will see that their role will be reflected next to their name. Now let's go back to add new. We have added some new members. Let's come back to the team structures and make a team structure. First, we'll need to add a structure name. So let's type in level 1 trainees. We need to add some description. Top level trainees. And then we can add members to our teams. So right now we can see that I have 2 members. So I can put both of them inside a team. We can filter out this list using this drop down here and this search bar here. So if I want to filter admins as well, we will click on admins, and I am the administrator of this classroom, so I can add myself to a new team and drag my user over there. Then we also have a moderator, so we will drag it to the team as well. And now we have 2 teams inside our team structures. To save this team structure, we need to click on this button, and this will save our teams. Now you can see that we have level 1 trainees as a team structure, and inside this team structure we have 2 teams that has a total member count of 4. We can still choose to edit the structure or view the structure. If we click on view, this is how it looks. Let's move on to the next one, that is bulk invite. If you want to invite members to your organization or classroom in bulk, then this is the option that you can choose. You can download the sample CSV format, that is the required format to upload a CSV, add the required details and upload the CSV file, and Edredo will do the work for you and import all those members to your classroom. Let's see how the sample CSV looks like. So click on this and it will download the CSV. And when you open it, this is how it looks. So you will need to provide email address, enrollment number, first name and last name. You will need to add all these details, and when you upload this file to Edredo, it will import all those members to your classroom. Let's move on to the next one. Create and invite students. Now this option is useful when you want to create student accounts ahead of time. When there are students or trainees in your organization that don't have an Edredo account, then you can create their accounts on Edredo ahead of time. You just need to type in their first name, last name and email address, and this will share an invite to their email addresses. You can also choose to bulk upload students, just like how we did in bulk invite. You can download the template from here, and when you click on it, this is how it looks. So you will need to provide first name, last name and email ID, and when you upload this file, all those fields will be mapped to these inputs and all these members will be created inside your classroom. Next option is manage students password. Here, all the students that you create using the create and invite students option will appear, and you will be able to manage their passwords. So in case you want to create users ahead of time, have their usernames and passwords ready and then share it with them later on, you can do that. If you had chosen the membership request option in the joining methods in the settings, then you will have one extra option here, requests. With that option, you would have been able to review all your membership requests and approve or disapprove them. So now that we are done with managing memberships, let's move on to the next option, that is app extensions in the settings. With Edredo Classrooms, you can also use a bunch of other app extensions to make your life easier. For example, here is a list of app extensions that are available currently. You have Discord, Microsoft Teams, Slack, Telegram, Razorpay, Stripe, and CC Avenue. You have already seen these three earlier. These are the payment gateways that are available with Edredo Classrooms. If you want to integrate any of these extensions to your classroom, you just need to click on Learn More and click on How to Integrate. And you will have all the steps that you need to follow to integrate these extensions to your classroom. Next is promo codes. When we click on promo codes, we are redirected to a new screen where we can view or create new promo codes. Now, next to the promo codes heading, there is an information icon. Here you can see that this is applicable when classroom joining method is payment subscription. So the promo codes will only work if you have a paid classroom. In that case, you can use the promo codes to give discounts to your users and members. So let's create a new promo code. To do that, we will need to click on this button. This will open a pop-up where we need to enter the promo code. So let's see what we can do. We can type in Halloween offer. And then we can set the discount percentage. Let's give 10% discount. Then we need to set the promo code validity. When do we want the promo code to start? And when do we want it to end? After that, we also need to select the type. Do we want it to be an event-based promo code or do we want it to be a user-based? If it's an event-based, then we can just click event and click create. If we want it to be specific to a particular user, then we select user. And then we need to search for the user that we want to link it with. So when we start typing, it will start sharing the suggestions for the users. We can select any user that we want from here. For now, as you can see, this is an event-based promo code. So let's select event and click create. Now you can see that the promo code is Halloween offer. It's valid from 15th October to 2nd November. It's active, it's event-based, it gives 10% discount and it has not been used so far. Next is additional pages. So, if we want to share some more information on what the classroom is about, we can do that using additional pages. We can create an additional page using this Add Now button. When we click on it, it opens a page where we can start adding the details for our additional page. For example, we can add the title like Terms and Conditions and then some description. Please note that we can also format it like how we would format an article. So if you want to do that, you can do that. Once you're done, click Publish Page. And the page is created successfully. Please note that the URL is still the same, /pages/terms and conditions. Now let's go back to the classroom. So far we have covered everything inside settings from about classroom to additional pages. Now let's dive deeper and discuss the content creation part that deals with how you will teach inside a classroom. So let's go back. So now we are back to our classroom page. One more thing before we dive into the content creation part is here on the banner you will see a switch classroom switcher, and when you click on it, you can see that you can switch between your different classrooms from right here. So if I want to go to this new corporate trainers classroom, I will just need to click on it and it will redirect me to that classroom. On the right hand side here, we have a classroom analysis button. When we click on it, it opens a new page where it gives some kind of analysis to us. Right now it's blank. So far you can see that there is some transaction ID, status and amount here. So this will also be useful only when you have a paid classroom. So let's go back now. On the left hand side here, below the class home option, we have live classes. Let's open it. Now, if you want to conduct a live session or training on Edredo, you can do that using the live classes option. To create a live class, you just need to click on this add live class button, which will open a pop-up which will list almost every major meeting platform out there. Edredo has integrations with almost all of them, be it Zoom or Google Meet. So let's select one platform that we want to use, that is Google Meet, and use our Google account to verify. Go to edredo.com and click continue. It will also ask you the calendar access. That is because whenever you create a live meeting, it will also create an invite for it inside your Google Calendar. So give it the permission by clicking continue. And you will be redirected back to Edredo and your Google Meet platform will be verified. Now you can create a live class. Click on create and it will ask you for meeting details like topic. So you can write whatever the topic is. Then it will ask for a start time. So you can set it to whatever you want it to be. And then click OK. If you want the meeting to repeat after a certain period of time, then you can click either daily or you can set a custom repeat depending on how many times you want it to repeat, how many weeks you want it to repeat for, and on which days you want it to repeat on. So let's cancel that. Let's keep it does not repeat. Then it will ask you for the duration. So let's keep it 30 minutes. And then it will ask for a brief description on what the live meeting is about. So let's say HR teams orientation and course work handover. And then click create live class once you have added all the details. It will take some time and add a live class inside your live classes section. You can see that this meeting has been created using Google Meet for October 15th, 2024 at 8 a.m. You can also choose to edit it using this three-dot option. When you click on it, a drop-down will open and you can select edit to edit this, or you can click delete to delete this meeting. Please note that even if you edit this meeting, there are some details that you cannot edit, like the start time and the recurrence. So let's close this. Now, if you want to remove the access for the Google account that we used to create this meeting, you will need to click on this three-dot drop-down. Click View Authorized Accounts. And from here, you can revoke the access for Google Meet. Let's close this. Now, after all is said and done, when it is time for your live meeting, you can click Join Live Class and join the meeting from right here. So that's it for the live classes. So after live classes, let's move on to the next content type, that is courses. In an Edredo classroom, you can create a course just by clicking this link on Add Course button. When you do that, you are redirected to a page where you can add a course. First, you have to choose a course type. There are three types of course creation methods available. The first one is create custom course, which means you create a course from scratch by adding interactive videos, examples, and questions, and then you structure them into chapters and units. The next method is importing from YouTube. If you already have some content available on YouTube in playlists, you can import those playlists and structure them into chapters. Finally, you have select from Edredo library method. So there are some courses available on Edredo for free, and if you want to use them inside your classroom, you can select this method. For this walkthrough, let's choose the create custom course option. So we will select that and click continue. Now this is the create course pop-up. Here you will need to provide the basic information for your course, like a basic picture, a name. You will need to set the visibility and provide a description for your course. And you can also choose a topic that you want your course to be about. So let's type in a course name, HR training modules. Let's keep it private because this is a private classroom. Next, we can add some description. And then if we want, we can add a topic as well. So for now, we are good to go. Let's click Save Changes. And this has created our course successfully. This is an empty, unpublished course, but it is still created. So here you can see that there are three tabs available: the curriculum, course details, and certification. In the curriculum section, you can add a new chapter. So type in the title, and if you want, you can add a description as well, and then click Save. This will create a chapter inside your curriculum. Now, if you click on Add Content, you see two options, one from library and another create new. Once again, if you want to use the content from Edredo library, you can choose the library option. But if you want to create new content, then you will need to pick this one. When you click on it, you see that there are a bunch of content types available for it, like videos, examples, resource files, quizzes, etc. And you can use any of these inside your courses. At the right corner here, you see that you have the option to edit this chapter, delete this chapter, or hide and unpublish this chapter. So for now, let's add a video. As you can see from the heading, the videos on Edredo are interactive, which means that whenever you add a video, you can add interactions on top of it, which keeps your trainees or your students engaged. So let's add HR training as the title, basic HR training. Then we have the description that is optional, so we can choose to add it or not. Then we need to add a video. So when we click on this plus icon, we can either upload a video file or we can paste a YouTube link or other video source URL. So let's go to YouTube. And let's select some HR training video for the sake of our demonstration. We have an HR basics video. Let's copy the link and paste it here. Once you're done, click insert and the video is imported. Now, if you want to add interactions to this video, you will need to go to step 2. Here you see the generate question using AI. Try for free. As this is a free version of Edredo, you can use a plugin and start using AI inside your classrooms and your video creation platform. But if you go for a paid plan, this AI support is built in natively, which means it is available right out of the box. So here you can see you can start adding interactions. You can click next, 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 next. Done. So you see that there are a bunch of interactions available for you. You can add links, images, statements, multiple choice questions, true false questions, and a lot more. So how will you go about adding an interaction? So let's play the video first. Now, for example, if I want to add an interaction at this point, what can I do? So I'll just need to select the interactions that I want to add here. Let's say multiple choice question. So I'll click on that and it will ask me the display time. So it will show from 4 minute 42 seconds to 4 minute 52 seconds. Now it will ask me whether do I want to pause the video when this interaction comes. So yes, I do. Now it will ask me whether I want to display the interaction as a button or a poster. So let's select poster. Now it has a title already. So let's not change that and click on question. How many types of skills are important at workplace? Then we add some options. So first could be soft skills. Second could be technical skills. And you can add an option, and third could be all of the above. We can select which option is correct, so we will pick this one. We can play around with a few more settings, but for now this is good. So let's click done, and you see the interaction is now available. Now I can change the position for it, I can resize it and place it properly on my video. Now whenever someone plays this video and when they reach this point, the video will pause and they will be asked this question. So let's click save. And this video will be added to our chapter successfully. In the similar manner, we can add more content as well. Once we are satisfied with what we have added to the course, we can publish the course. Before we do that, let's go over these other sections as well. So let's go to course details. This is the same part that we saw earlier. So we can change the course name from here, or change the course description from here, or even add and change the course picture. Next, we have certification. If you want to enable certifications inside your course, then you can do that from turning it on from here. If you don't want certifications, you can simply turn it off. Now, as you can see, the name of your organization and the name of your course are added here at the top of your certificate. Your username is already entered as well. So you can add a certificate title, basic HR training. Then you can add a note. Next, you can change the logo or remove it if you want. And then you can select what percentage of completion is required to get this certificate. If you just want to allow participation certificate, you can turn it on. And if you don't want to do that, just turn it off and set the percentage. So let's set it to 75%. And then you click save and publish course. So you see, the video is added and your course is published. Now let's add some more content to our course. So we will click on manage, add content, create new, and add a video file. So we'll select HR tutorial, add a video. Then we can upload a video. You can see that this is being uploaded to Edredo server. Earlier on, we used a YouTube video. Then if you don't want to add any interactions and a summary task, we can just go down here and save. Please note that when you upload a video directly to Edredo, you can also control whether someone can download your video or not. If you have not enabled the download on your video, then your video will be DRM protected, which means that anyone who tries to download your video won't be able to do so in one go. They will be able to download fragmented pieces which won't be of any use to them. So if you want to enable download, do that. Otherwise, click save. Then let's maybe add an example. And click post. So we have a bunch of content here. Let's add some more. Let's add a resource file. I want to upload the CSV. And then click post. So now that we have a bunch of content here, let's click publish. And we see that all our content is added here. Let's have some activity from students on this course so that we can later on monitor it. So this is another account that I am using on the same course and the same classroom to generate some student activity. So let's click start. Right now it shows 0% completed. To quickly go through the course, I won't watch all the videos. I'll just click mark as completed. And then click next. Now if I go back and click on view student progress, it shows me that 2 of my students are enrolled in the course and 1 has completed 75% of it. Now I can check the details like which module they have done and what videos and content pieces they have already completed and what's remaining. I can also choose to send them an appreciative message like, keep going, good job. and then click send. So this is where you can watch the progress of all the students and trainees that are going through your course. Now, let's go back to the classroom and see what's next. So we have assignments. Let's click on that. If we want to create an assignment in our classroom, we just need to click on this Add Assignment button. This will open a pop-up where we need to add the details for our assignment, and then we can create the assignment. So first we will create the assignment title. Then we need to add the basic instructions to attempt the assignment. So if there are any specific instructions or considerations that students and trainees need to be mindful of, then this is where you write those. So this is some dummy instruction. Next, we can have some attachment or a reference material to this assignment. So we can add a file less than 8 MB in size as an attachment. You can also see the allowed file types. So if we hover over this, you can see that a lot of the file types are already allowed. So let's click on this and attach a file. Now the next section is submission deadline. So if you want to allow late submission, that is, if you want students to be able to submit their assignment late, then we can select it. And if we don't want that, we can uncheck it. To set the deadline, we need to select a date and time. So let's pick 18th October, 12:45. Okay. Now we can also set the allowed file extension. So if we want the students to submit their assignments in a particular file type, we can select that extension here. So let's select PDF. We can also allocate maximum marks to this assignment. So we can say 30 marks. Now, if we want to include this assignment and the grades of it inside the gradebook, then we can check it. Otherwise, we can uncheck it. Next to it, you see that this assignment's mark can be included in gradebook. So let's click on it. Below it, you see that you have a choice whether you want this to be a team assignment or not. You have a toggle next to it. So when you enable the toggle, you can select the team structure. We have created one team structure in the past, so we can select that if we want this to be a team assignment. For now, I don't want this to be a team assignment, so let's uncheck it and click Save and Continue. So you see the assignment is created successfully, and we can also see the submission deadline, and we have 4 days left. From here, as an admin, you can view submissions and review submissions, and you can also submit the assignment as one of your own. Now, I want to show you the student side of it. So let's go back to the student account, go back to our classroom, open assignments, and click Submit Assignment. So this is what it will look like when the students want to submit the assignment. They can take reference, they can read through the instructions. They can also engage in conversation here in the comment section. Now for submission, they can drag and drop or upload their file here. The file is supposed to be in PDF format, so we upload the same PDF again. The file is uploaded successfully. And you can write a message as well. So this is how a student can access the assignments. Once you're done, click Submit. And you see that the student has submitted the assignment. A student can also see the assignment activity on his own assignment. So on their profile, they can see that they have submitted it on Monday, October 14th, but so far there has been no review on it. unless there have been a review already, they can also choose to edit the submission. Now let's go back to the admin side and click on View Submissions. Now below here, we see that one person has submitted their assignment and one person has not submitted. So this student has not submitted their assignment. If we want to intimate them and we want them to submit their assignment, we can send a nudge or we can send a message. For now, let's review the assignment. So there is some description. When you click on it, it will show the description. There is a PDF file here. If you want to allocate the marks here, then you can do that from here. You can define the marks obtained and you can add some remarks. Or if you don't want to do that and you want to return the submission for the student to submit it again, then you can click here. So for now, I will just click 15 marks obtained. Please improve is my remark. And I can click save. So you see assignment is evaluated successfully. And if you go back to the student account again and reload this page, they can see that the admin has given them 15 out of 30 marks and a remark of please improve. So that's all about assignments. Now let's go back to our classroom and see what's next. So let's go back. And next we have quizzes. So Edredo has one of the most robust and sophisticated quizzes out on the internet. To create a quiz on Edredo Classroom, you just need to click on the Add Quiz button and start by adding some basic details like quiz title, instructions, selecting a template, and entering quiz duration. So let's do all that. Then let's select non-sectional template, add some basic instructions. Set the quiz duration to 1 hour. And then click Save and Continue. So our quiz has been created successfully. But just like our course, it is not yet published. It has 0 questions, and to add the questions, we can go either of the 2 ways. We have the option to add new questions one by one, or we can choose the add questions from library method. We have one third way as well, to import a bunch of questions altogether, and that is by importing questions. If you want to import the questions, click on the Import Questions button, and it will give you 2 ways to import questions, either by uploading a CSV or by uploading a document. If you want to know the format that you need to use to upload either the CSV or the document, you can get that by clicking here on the download sample. From here you can download the sample CSV, and when you click on document, you can download the sample document. Please note that when you click on only MCQs, the download sample document option will download another file, and when you click on mixed questions, it will download another sample document file. So please note that. Now let's see what we can do and how we can upload questions. So let's click on only MCQs and download the sample document and upload this sample document right here. So it will take some time and be uploaded. Then we have to click next. So you see that we have 1 mark decided for each question. There is no negative marking and we have not set any topics. So let's click submit. It will take some time and import the questions inside your quiz. So you see, a lot of questions are added all at once inside your quiz. But right now we don't want these questions, so we can go ahead and delete them. Now, if we want to add the new questions manually, let me take you through how we can do that. So let's click on Add Multiple Choice Question. It will open a pop-up where you can start adding question. Once again, you can generate questions using AI. If you are on a paid and premium plan, you can just do it right out of the box. Otherwise, you need to use a ChatGPT plugin. Right now, let's add a basic question. So we have added a bunch of the choices. We can keep adding more choices by clicking on this add option button. Then if we want, we can add some explanation here. Please note that if you have video explanations for your questions, you can also do that by clicking on this formatter here, and then you can add a video. Then you can add a maximum score. So let's set it to 2 and a penalty score of 1. If you want to set a topic, then you can do that. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and add a label. So if you want to add a label, we have a bunch of those available. So let's click on HR training. And if you want to add one more label, we can just go ahead and search it again. Now, if you're wondering where these labels came from, these labels were created when we uploaded that sample document in the previous step. So that had a bunch of labels inside that, and it created the labels automatically. But we don't want to use it, so we will keep it empty. Next, we have score settings. So when you click on it, it will open an accordion, and inside it, we have the partial marking setting. This setting only works when you have 4 options inside your question and you have set the maximum score to 4 and the penalty score to 1. So now the correct answer will award 4 marks to the user and incorrect answer will deduct 1 mark. Now, if you have multiple correct answers inside your question, for example, we have the question, how many years of experience is required to be an HR? We have selected the correct answer as can start as a fresher. But according to some people, maybe 1 year or 3 years of experience is required. So to have multiple correct answers, we need to select this checkbox and then we can pick more correct choices. Now, as long as the user, while attempting the quiz, does not pick the wrong option, they will be awarded partial marks based on the number of attempts that they have done correctly. So if they have picked 2 options correctly, they will be awarded 2 marks. That's how partial marking works. For now, let's leave it be and then click Save and Continue. This will add this question to your quiz. You can see that the maximum marks are set to 2 and penalty marks are set to 1. You can also change these marks from right here. So if you want to change the maximum marks to 3 and penalty marks to 0, you can do that. So you get a message saying quiz question updated and the marking has been updated. Similarly, you can add more questions of different types inside your quiz. So when you click on add new questions, you get all the types and you can add numerical question, true, false, and many more. Now most of these questions are evaluated automatically by Edredo, but in case of long answer question and descriptive type questions, you have 2 options. You can either evaluate them manually or you can take help from AI. In case you are on free plan, you can use the ChatGPT plugin for Edredo and create content through it or get the questions evaluated through it. And in case you are on a paid plan, then you have the native AI to help you with these tasks. Now, there is one more way to add questions to your quiz. That is, add questions from library. Let's click on that. When we do it, it opens a pop-up that has a bunch of questions. These are all the questions that I have added to different quizzes in the past. Now, if you want to add these questions to our quiz, you can just check mark them here and then click Add Selected Questions. You cannot select the one that already exists, so just pick and choose and click Add Selected Questions. It will take a little bit of time and then add the questions to your quiz. Once again, we don't want these questions here, so we can just go ahead and delete them. Now let's create some different types of questions inside our quiz. So let's go for a long answer question. Now, if we want, we can write an explanation, or we can just go ahead and set a maximum score, which is 5 marks, and click Save and Continue to add the question to our quiz. So we see that the long answer question is successfully added to our quiz. Let's add a couple more questions. So let's add a true-false question. So first, we will give our question a title and then add the question. HRs need technical computer science knowledge. Now, this is the statement which we need to test whether it is true or false. So, normally HRs don't need technical computer science knowledge, so we can set the correct answer to false. Now, if we want, we can set an explanation, but in this case, let's keep it empty and set the maximum score. So let's keep it 2, and let's set the penalty score to 1. So we can leave the topic and labels and tags and click Save and Continue to add the question to our quiz. So you see the true and false question is added to the quiz. Let's add a few more questions to our quiz. And to do that, we will use the question library. So we will click on it and select a few questions. Let's select these questions. Let's pick the multiple choice ones. And click Add Selected Questions. Now I know that physics and HR training are not related, but this is just to demonstrate how our quiz can look like and what can we do with it. So if you see at the top, now our quiz has total 7 questions and can be taken for a total of 18 marks. So let's go ahead and publish our quiz. We'll click the publish button and it will take a couple of seconds and update and publish our quiz. Now, if we want to change and modify some of the advanced settings, we can access those settings by clicking on this menu icon here at the right corner. When we click on it, it opens a drop-down where you can edit the quiz, manage questions, access advanced settings, see the results of the quiz, or delete the quiz altogether. For now, let's go to advanced settings. Now, inside the advanced settings, at the top you see the topic here. You can add a branch of study that relates to your quiz. Then you can set the difficulty for your quiz. So if it's for beginners, you can set basic. If it's for regular evaluation, then you can set intermediate. And if you're looking for subject matter experts, if you're looking for expert knowledge and testing for it, then you can set it to advanced. Then you can set a support email here. This email can be anything, but should be where test takers and quiz takers can reach out and get help. Next, we have some availability settings. So here you can see that the quiz was originally published in the HR training classroom. You can also add it to your other classrooms. For example, if you click on it, it will show you that you have one more classroom, and if you click on it, it will add this classroom to this listing. Now, if I click save and continue, the same quiz will be available inside this classroom as well. For now, let's just remove it. Next, you can set number of attempts on your quiz. By default, it is set to unlimited, but you can also keep it numbered, like you can set the number to 1, 2, 3 or 4. For now, let's keep it to 2. Then you can set the quiz mode. Edredo has 2 quiz taking modes available. One is assessment mode and one is practice mode. In the assessment mode, quizzes are evaluated by admins, teachers, and students cannot see their answers while they are attempting the quiz. But in the practice mode, students can see the answers while they are attempting. So based on what you want to do with the quiz, you can select the mode. In this case, let's select assessment. Next, we have quiz availability settings. We have 2 modes available. One where quiz is always available, and one where you can set the specific time window for which the quiz will be available. So if I don't want this quiz to be available always, I can set a specific time window. For example, I can set it to be available from 15th October, or let's say 14th October to 30th October. This quiz will only be available from this date to this date. Next, we have security settings. These settings impose restrictions on the quiz and dictate the behavior of the quiz in the browser tab while it is being attempted by the user. This also helps in keeping the participants in check and prevent them from cheating. So let's see which settings are available inside security settings. First, we have disallow resuming. This setting disallows the quiz taker to resume the quiz once they have left it. Next, we have full screen. If you want the quiz to be conducted in full screen mode, then you can select this. There are 3 levels to this setting: easy, medium, and strict. On the easy level, the platform will notify the user and log the event when they leave the full screen. On the medium level, the user will be notified with a time penalty. If the quiz taker leaves the quiz from the full screen mode once, they will have a time penalty of 30 seconds. If they leave it twice, the time penalty will increase to 1 minute, and it will keep increasing, so on and so forth. On the strict level, the user will be notified 2 times with penalty, and when they attempt to leave the full screen for the 3rd time, the quiz will be submitted automatically. Third setting we have is randomized questions. So if the trainees are in a setting where they are taking the quiz together, then you can randomize the questions so that even if they have the same questions in their paper, the order won't be the same. Next, you have randomized options section. So in a multiple choice question paper, you can even randomize the options section. So even if the question is the same, the options for it won't be in the correct order. Next, you have the sequential quiz setting. So when you enable the sequential quiz, the quiz will only flow in one direction, which means if you attempt one question, then skip the second one and move to the third one, you can't go back and attempt the second question again. You can only move forward. Next, you have the allow anonymous attempt. So for example, if you want your quiz to be accessed by anyone who doesn't have an account on Edredo yet, you can make the allow anonymous attempt setting enabled, and they will be able to attempt the quiz. But still, they won't be able to receive the report. Next, we have enable proctor. This is the feature that we have in our beta. What it does is that it uses the webcam in your laptop or your computer and keeps an eye on the student while they are taking the quiz. So if the student gives the permission, the camera will be enabled while taking the quiz. And if they move their eye to somewhere else while taking the quiz, or they look at a book, or they look at their mobile phone, those events will be automatically logged. So all these features overall help in increasing the security of the quiz. Next, we have review and reports. When we click on it, it opens an accordion, and here we can enable the report and include this quiz inside the gradebook. So let's do both and select disallow resuming and randomize questions as our security settings, and then click save and continue. So our quiz is updated successfully. You can see that the difficulty level is also set to hard. Now, if we want to view this quiz, we just need to click on this view quiz button. And this is how our quiz looks like. Difficulty is advanced, available from October 14th to October 30th. And these are the instructions. Here you can see that student attempts and admin attempts are separate. As an admin, you can also attempt your quizzes to see how the experience will be for the students and trainees. Let's now preview the quiz by clicking on the Start Quiz button. When we click on it, the platform opens the quiz app in a new tab. Here we have two options, offline support and resume disallowed. Resume disallowed is the security setting that we chose in the advanced settings. And offline support is something provided by Edredo. What Edredo does is that it provides the students and trainees the ability to take the quizzes even when they have lost their internet connection. So if they start the quiz once and in the midst of the quiz they lose their internet connection, they can keep taking the quiz and it will store the responses in the local storage of the browser. Then once they have completed the quiz, they need to download the log file and share it with you, the admin. And then you can upload it to the Edredo platform and get their results. So let's check both of these and click Start Quiz. Now you will see that we have the first question as the long answer type questions, but this is not the order in which we created the questions. That is because we also selected the randomized question section security setting in the advanced settings. So let's write an answer. Let's move forward. Please note that the order of the questions is completely random. Let's move forward. So before you submit the quiz, the platform asks you, do you want to submit? So you see that you have answered 7 questions and you have not marked anything for review, you have not left anything empty, you have visited all the questions and you have not marked anything for review. So let's move forward and submit the quiz. So you'll get a message that your quiz has been submitted. And because you are the admin, you are redirected to your report section. So you can see how you did in the quiz. So here you see that you have answered, but you can either evaluate manually or you can evaluate using AI. This is again a premium feature that you can unlock with our paid plans. For now, if we evaluate it manually, we can give it a score, for example, 2. We can also share a feedback. Now, this is not to say that you are giving feedback to yourself. This just gives you a look at what it will be like when you're reviewing the reports and quizzes of your students. Next, you have a correct answer. Then, when you answer a multiple choice question incorrectly, then it shows you both the correct answer and your answer. So, penalty mark is also deducted from here. So that's your summary. Now, as you can see that there are multiple columns here. These are all part of the quiz report, which we will cover in the coming part of the video. So let's move forward and go back to the classroom. So now that we have attempted the quiz, let's see how the view quiz screen looks like now. So let's click on that. And we see that the my attempts count has increased to 1. When we click on it, it shows us our attempt. It gives us details like who attempted the quiz. In this case, we attempted the quiz, so we have our name here. And then we have the start date and the finish date. We also have attempts, so we attempted 7 out of 7 questions and scored 50%. On the right corner here, we have operations that you can do on the individual records. So when you click on view, it will open up the report for you. Let's go back. Next to the view button, we have this 3-dot menu. And when you click on it, you have a whole bunch of options in the drop down here. You can unsubmit the quiz. You can reevaluate the quiz. You can overwrite the results by uploading a log file. You can watch the activity logs for this attempt. And you can even see the proctor logs. Now, in this quiz, we didn't enable the proctor, so we won't have any proctor logs. Now, below here, we also have student attempts. There are 2 tabs. One is for submitted quizzes and one is for those that are in progress. You can also download the quiz results or re-evaluate the quizzes here. But right now we don't have any quizzes from students. So let's go ahead and make a student attempt on the quiz. So this is another account that is a student on a dummy organization. So let's click view quiz and then click on start quiz. So once our quiz is loaded, we select these checkboxes for the settings and then click start quiz. Once again, you see the order of the questions is different. So let's attempt the quiz and keep moving forward. We can also leave it empty. So let's go ahead and do that and click next. Finally, we have this question. It doesn't show not answered because we initially typed in an answer and then later on cleared it. So basically it counts that as an attempt. Now, if we are satisfied with it, we can just click yes, submit quiz. And the quiz has been submitted. Now, to the student, the report is also showing right away because in our advanced settings, we check the show report section. So after every attempt, the students will also be shown their report. So now that we have taken the quiz as a student, let's go back to the admin side and see how it looks there. So this is the admin attempt, and below it, the student attempt count has been updated to 1 and 1 attempt has been submitted. So here we see the name of the quiz taker, the start and finish date, the attempt, so how many questions they attempted. So here you can see that they attempted 2 correctly and 5 incorrectly. And we also see the percent score. Now, if we want to see the report, we can just click on this view button. But if you want more operations like before, we need to click on this 3-dot menu. When we do that, we get all the same options as before. We can unsubmit the quiz, we can reevaluate it, we can overwrite the results using a log file. So if the student lost the internet connection, they can submit the log file and we will be able to overwrite the results. We can also get the activity logs. So for example, if you had enabled the full screen security feature and the student logged out of the full screen mode, then that will be logged here in the activity logs. And you can also get access to the proctor logs. In this quiz, we didn't enable the proctor, so right now you won't get anything in them, but you can also use it. So that is how you can preview a quiz and attempt it. Now let's dive deeper into the reports. So let's click on the view button. This will take us to our quiz results or report. So by clicking on summary, we can get a total analysis of what our quiz was like. So you can see that total number of questions was 7 and the user visited 7 questions and attempted 7 questions. Out of those 7 attempted, 4 were correct and 3 were incorrect. Next, you can also analyze your trend, your score, your accuracy, your incorrect responses, and the number of questions that you did not attempt. So you can analyze all that right here. In the next section, you get a section-wise comparison. During the creation of our quiz, we set it to be a non-sectional quiz. So we only have one section here. And as we only did one attempt, this is what the analysis looks like. We have a 61.11% accuracy. We had a 4 out of 7 correct responses and 3 out of 7 incorrect responses. And we finished the quiz in 56 seconds. You also get the marks distribution. So right here you have one student and the score is distributed amongst that. Next is topic-wise analysis. So here you can see that 3 questions were correct and the accuracy was 100%. Uncategorized, we had 1 correct response and 3 incorrect. So a total accuracy of 36.36%. Out of the total 7 questions, 4 were correct, 3 were incorrect. In questions and answers section, you can see what questions you answered correctly, what you answered incorrectly, and what did you miss. Next, in the compare quizzes section, you can also compare your performances throughout the quizzes. So here we have different quizzes like our basic HR informational quiz and then some quantum physics basics quizzes that I took earlier on. And this is an analysis of all those quizzes. We can remove some of these quizzes here and just keep 2 and then click compare. And this is what the trend looks like. If you want to add one more quiz, we can just select it from here. We can pick the soft skills analysis quiz. And this is how the chart looks like. In the next section, that is the report section, you get to download the report in PDF format. So all these things that we saw earlier are available for you to download in a PDF format. So that's it about quiz reports. Now, let's go back to the classroom and explore other features inside the classroom. So let's visit the classroom and here we are. Now next to quizzes, we have challenges. What are challenges? So if you want to keep your users engaged on a daily basis, then you can't have them taking quizzes every day. Therefore, to test their knowledge and at the same time to keep them engaged, Edredo has challenges inside classrooms. You can click on Create Add Challenge to create a challenge. When you do that, a pop-up opens where you can start adding the details for the challenge, starting with the challenge name. So you can say basic HR competence. Then you can add the challenge banner. So let's pick a photo and add it. So the file will be uploaded. Now we can add a challenge question. So we can either add it manually or we can add it through the question library. So let's see if our library has something. So we do have some questions that we earlier used inside challenges. So let's pick one and add this question to our challenge. On the right hand side, you have some settings for the challenge. For example, the start and end date. So let's pick that. You can also select the time zone for your challenge. Below the duration section, we have the description. So we can add a basic description here. Next, we have marks and attempting settings. So you can choose to award points for this challenge. Let's say we want to award 100 points. Now, next is the point award settings. Here you can see that there is a drop down, so let's click on it. So we have no deduction, absolute deduction, and relative deduction. So what happens is that if you select no deduction, everyone who attempts the challenge, they will attempt it for 100 marks. But if you select absolute deduction, it will ask you for a deduction value. So let's say if you give the deduction value of 5. So what will happen is that the marks will be reduced by a specific number, in this case 5, after each attempt, and they will keep reducing till they reach a minimum point value of 5. So the first person that completes the challenge will get 100 marks, and the next person will attempt it for 95 marks, and the person next to that will attempt it for 90 marks. So that's how it works. In relative deduction, you set a deduction percentage. So you have to reduce the amount of marks by a specific percentage. So we have 100 marks and we are deducting by 5% till we reach a minimum point value of 5. So 5% of 100 is 5. So the first person will attempt the challenge for 100 marks, and the second person will attempt it for 95 marks, and so on and so forth. Next, we have attempt setting. We can choose to keep it single attempt. Like if you get it right on the first try, then that's okay. If you don't, then that's okay. Or we can keep it unlimited tries. We can keep attempting the challenge until we get it correct. So let's keep it single attempt. One thing that I would like to mention here is that inside challenges, we can only add multiple choice and numerical questions. That's the limitation that they have. So after we are done adding all the details, let's click Save Challenge. And our challenge is created successfully. Now, if you want to see the results of the challenge, let's click here. So right now we can see that no student has attempted this challenge yet. Let's go back. We also have this 3-dot menu icon here. So let's click on it. And you see that you can edit it or delete it. Now, let's attempt this challenge using our student account. So let's go back to our classroom and attempt the challenge. So you click on this attempt button, and here you will see the challenge question. Who proposed the famous thought experiment as Schrodinger's cat? Erwin Schrödinger. Submit response. And that's the correct answer. Already attempted. As we only kept it single attempt, it shows already attempted. So let's close it. Now, if you go back to the admin side and click on result one more time, we see that one person has attempted the quiz. They got 100 marks and they are on number 1 position. So the first, second and third person here will get a badge like this. Now let's go back and see what's next. Next, we have Asset Index. Inside Asset Index, you will find all the resources and files that you have uploaded so far in your classroom. So basically, it is an index of everything you have uploaded. Now, if you want to get this PDF from here, you can just click on it and you can download it. So that's it about Asset Index. Now let's move forward. Drafts. Now anything that you write inside your classroom but don't publish can be stored inside drafts. So for example, if you start to write an article but don't publish it, that will be stored in drafts. You can access your drafts from here, or you can click on your profile icon and click on My Drafts, and that will open up all your drafts in all your classrooms. Next, you have bin. So if you delete anything from your classroom, that will be first moved to the bin, and after 30 days, it will be removed permanently. But if you want to delete it right away, you can do that from here. So for example, let's go to the class home and start writing an article. Let's add a heading, a new article format, some new text, art here, and then let's not publish it. Okay, let's just close it. Now if we go to drafts, you will see that the article is stored here as a draft. We can either choose to edit it from here, delete it from here, and we can also publish it. So let's click on publish. Now let's go back to the class home again. You see that the article that we wrote recently is here. Now we don't want this article, we want to delete it. So we will click on this 3-dot icon and click on delete. It says it will be moved to the bin and will be automatically deleted permanently after 30 days. Let's click yes. And then go to the bin and you will find the deleted item here. Now if you want to delete it right away, select it and click on delete permanently. You can also choose to restore it, but for now let's just delete it. And there you go, it's gone. Now the next feature that we have is Gradebook. So let's go to that. Gradebook basically allows admins to keep a track record of everything that students do inside a classroom that can be graded. So you can see the assignment here and you can see the quiz here. This user has attempted both the things and is at 30%. I have also edited their marks and I can see the history here. So you can edit the marks if you click on these text here. So if I want to modify the marks of the person who has not attempted anything, I can do that. As an admin, you have the ability to change the scores of your students. So if you want to do that, you surely can do. Let's keep it the same for now. Now, if you want to show the admins also in this list, then you just need to enable that by clicking show admins. Once you do that, both the users that have administrative roles inside the classroom are added to the list. Now, if you don't want one of the graded activities to be here, for example, if you don't want the assignment to be a part of the total evaluation, then you can just set its weight to 0. And you will see that the total percentage has increased because this is no longer a part of the evaluation. So that's what Gradebook looks like. You can get a local access to the Gradebook if you want to export it as a CSV. So if you click on it, it will download a file, and if you open it, you can see all these scores on your local system. So let's go back to the classroom. Now on the left bottom corner here, you have a calendar, which basically shows all the activities that are going on inside your classroom and that will happen in the future. So for today's events, you can see that there was a quiz today at 11:34 a.m. If I check for tomorrow, there is a HR team orientation meeting, and on 18th, I have my assignment submission date. So you can see all that from here and keep a track record of everything that's happening here. Same thing can be done by your students as well. They can also keep a track record of everything that's happening inside the classroom using this calendar. On the right hand side, if you see here, there's a leaderboard. And it's also showing you a message here that currently there isn't enough data to generate the leaderboard. So right now, everything inside this classroom has been created by one user. But once more users start creating content inside the classroom and start interacting with each other, the leaderboard will be generated and users will be ranked based on their contribution. Now with that, we have covered everything inside our classroom. We have covered the settings, we have covered all the content types that we can create inside the classroom, how we can access the calendar, how we can manage the members inside the classroom, and how we can access the leaderboard once it's generated. In the middle section here, just like the global creation section, you can create posts, ask questions, and post examples. There is also one tiny bit of feature that you can use inside your classroom. So for example, if you want to remind your students to submit their assignments, and you want to remind them at 8 o'clock today, 8 p.m. But you can't wait around till then. So what can you do? Just create a post saying, please submit your assignment. And then click on this bottom arrow here and click on schedule post. This will open a calendar where you can select the date and time for this post to go live. So let's select 8 p.m. Now you can click on this button and you can verify that schedule post for 14th October 2024, 8 p.m. Once you click on that, your post will be scheduled. You can view your post by clicking here, or you can also go to the profile icon, click on it, and click on scheduled content from the drop down, and you will find your scheduled content right here. You can either publish it right away, you can cancel the schedule and edit it, or you can also delete it. Another feature that Edredo has is the built-in messaging capability. Once you click on this message icon at the top, you will be able to access the inbuilt messaging tool. So you can do individual chats, or you can make groups and chat among those. Edredo provides all this functionality to make learning easier and the process of acquiring skills more fun. So I hope you found this video useful. Please feel free to post all your queries on support@edredo.com and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you.